Hello and welcome to the new video. If this is your first time here, my name is Hannah, and in this video I'll be trying to get through some of my subscription boxes books. Last year I got so excited and I subscribed to pretty much everything that I could, starting with Locked Library, then Illumicrate, then I signed up for Evernight, and then eventually I also signed up for Abominable Book Club. I am also on a waiting list for Broken Binding, which is a very new subscription to me. I managed to get one book from them last year. I still haven't read that. But since then, I have cancelled the subscriptions that were kind of not up my alley, if you know what I mean. Starting with Locked Library. I think I was subscribed to Locked Library for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then I started skipping books because none of them seemed interesting to me. And the same happened with Illumicrate. I have quite a few books from Illumicrate. Some books I have pre-ordered because they were part of the series that I have started and I enjoyed, and I wanted to have those special editions. But some of them came in the boxes, and especially in the beginning of my subscription, I was just getting everything and anything, whatever. I didn't really look, whether I will enjoy this book. Is it kind of the type of the book that I enjoy reading? I was just getting everything because I loved the idea of having beautiful editions of books on my bookshelves. Right, since then I have also unsubscribed from Illumicrate, and currently at this time I am still subscribed to Evernight, still on a waiting list for the Broken Binding, and I'm still subscribing to Abominable Book Club. But I wanted to get through some of my subscription boxes books, some of these special editions books. I don't want to just get rid of them without reading, and I want to give them a chance. And I thought in this vlog I would start with a bit of a chunk of a book, and this is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is a big, beautiful book. I love the holographic effect they've done on this. Look at this beautiful edge. Top is just purple, top and bottom. It's got a ribbon bookmark as well, which I don't mind, but I rarely use because I like my own bookmarks. And yeah, same thing here. This kind of like a very holographic, I love holographic stuff. So anyway, so I have all these books on my shelves and I haven't been reading them because they don't really spark joy. So last year, I placed a hold for an audiobook in my library, and this hold just came through. So I thought that it's an omen for me to start reading this book and start reading my subscription boxes books. And hopefully, because this is a big book, it's literally just under 600 pages, I was thinking that if I have an audiobook, I could part read, part listen, and then hopefully get through it a little bit quicker. So a few words about the book. I'm sure you've heard about this book. It's an adult romantasy, which is not really the genre that I enjoy. These books are quite spicy, and I don't really enjoy a lot of smut in my books. And I found, with the very limited experience that I have with romantasy, that they're pretty much the same thing. There's usually a big tall man and a tiny female, and they're called males and females. So yeah, so they're quite samey to me. I don't know what this is about. I'm thinking dragons and stuff, because obviously we have a dragon on the cover and everywhere else. Also, this book has very mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it, and yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. I like to find out for myself, but let's just read a quick synopsis and see. As an assassin for the rebellion, Reeve's job is to complete orders and never get caught. When the rival bounty hunter shatters her word, Reeve finds herself captured by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Dragon Rider Khan Vhagar took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest, a claw lures him into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Reeve. Together they seek truths that threaten to unravel everything they knew about their world and each other. So it just says, best-selling sensation When the Moon Hatched will transport you into a world filled with magic, dragons, and love that blazes through the ages. Okay, so you know when they say, okay, this book came out last year, right? And I think it came out at the similar time as when we got it in the box. And you know when they say best-selling, whatever, how can you tell that the book is best-selling if it's just come out? You can't really say that. I would say you kind of have to give it some time to claim the best-selling title for the book. But yeah, never mind. I am going to start with this. Only 566 pages to go through, I think. There's a lot of stuff at the back. There's a pronunciation guide. See, if they have to include a pronunciation guide, man, okay, I don't know. But anyway, so without all that extra stuff, 541 pages, so it's a lot, and the font is tiny. It's very packed, but never mind. I see we have a, oh yeah, I didn't tell you, look at the end papers. So these are the end papers, and then the same at the back. Yeah, same thing at the back. There's illustrations, so there's few illustrations in a book as well. Oh, and there's a kind of like a map. There's this as well. So it seems like a really nice book, and as a fellow artist, I appreciate illustrations, because these looks like they've been done with a micron pen by the looks of it, and it's very intricate, and I love that style. Look at that. This is really time consuming to make to do an illustration like this. So it looks like it's been done with a pen. Same thing here. So yeah, I do appreciate how much work went into it. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go probably make a cup of tea or something. I'm going to start reading this, and I will check in with you when, I don't know, when I reach 25%, possibly. We'll see. Okay, adios and hasta luego. Checking in, reading this, and mostly listened. I have to admit, I've read few chapters yesterday. Today I've mostly listened, and I'm currently on page 156. This is where my bookmark is, and so far So far, my first thoughts on this book starts very typical. So we have this a female character, main character, Reeve, and she's an assassin. She gets orders and she needs to fulfill these orders. She goes in undercover in this kind of like a club slash bar, tavern, whatever this is, and she's supposed to dispatch one of the bad guys there. He's a rapist and stuff like that, and she's there to tempt him and lure him, and eventually she does. He follows her and she basically does her business and stuff, but I think he doesn't die, because I think he reappears later on. I'm actually not sure if it's the same guy. So this is the kind of jobs that she does. And she has kind of like a little sister, I would say, Elsie, or something like this. And one day she finds this sister, someone attacked her and I think she died. And basically she knows it's the guy that she was trying to kill earlier. So it's a trap basically, and they capture her and she ends up being sent to prison. But she goes into like big battle and she kills like 25 soldiers or whatever. And when she's in this prison, this guy comes to visit her, Khan, and turns out he's an undercover king or something. And then she gets sentenced to be fed to a dragon, because she's being whipped and tortured before in this prison. So after she gets sentenced, he like looks after her and he gets a healer to treat her back and whatnot. And okay, so this is from the plot, right? I was so close to DNFing this book because I just found it so freaking boring and so dragged out. There's so many descriptions. It literally reads like Stephen King, but Stephen King does horror and this is romantasy, right? It's so over descriptive. Like the person that was writing this book was trying to be super lyrical and super romantic, and I don't know what she was trying to do, but at least with me it got the opposite effect. I hate this type of a writing when it's just when you can use 5 words to describe a thing instead of 25, you know. So this is kind of like what I don't like. Also, there's a lot of talk about shit, right? Shit, crap, turd, so much. Also, the other thing, there's so many sexual innuendos. I just cringe when I listen to stuff like this. Also, the fact that she's a fucking assassin, right? And she's wearing this corset that makes her boobs pop out. Why? If you're an assassin, surely you should be wearing something that will contain you, right? Because you want to be comfortable, maybe? No? I don't know. It just feels so pretentious. It just feels like such a romantasy. It feels very pretentious. It feels like very cringy. The writing is over descriptive, and you know, like I said in the beginning, like my suspicions, like what's going to happen. Like, you know, he's tall, dark and handsome, and you know, she is tiny comparing to him, and he looks down at her. I don't know, it's just a very, very typical romantasy, and I don't think this is my type of a book. Not something that I like reading. Like, I do enjoy fantasy, but I don't think I don't think romantasy is my genre. For now, I'm still interested. Let's see how long I will last. This is about, I don't know, 26% in the book. 156 pages. I'm gonna start reading chapter 27. You know what happens when the writing is over descriptive and it's trying to be something that it's not? My mind starts to wander and I do not retain what's happening in this book. And I think this is a very good example of this, when there's not much action but just talk, and then my mind starts to wander and I don't retain certain information. So I don't know, it kind of feels, well, it felt like a DNF, and right now, because I don't know, something is grabbing me here. I don't know what yet and for how long, but to me right now it feels kind of like a 2-star. There's a quote in this book. I'll see if I can find it. Right, okay, so I found it. This is chapter 7, page 48, if you have the same edition as me. Okay, so the quote I was telling you about, that I feel like it kind of reflects this book, is: you can reshape a turd an infinite number of times, but it's still a turd. It still stinks. And I think this is so true for this book. I don't know, at least for now. I don't know, for me this is kind of like, you know, doesn't matter what beautiful cover you're gonna put on this book. For now, for me, for now, this book is basically what it is, nothing special. Let's see how it goes. Still plenty to read. Maybe my opinion will change later. For now, guys, I'm reading. I am about 75% in. I haven't got much left. It's about this much. What, 200 pages? I think on my app it's about just over 4 hours of reading, but I'm listening on slightly faster speed, so it shouldn't be too long. The plan is, I think I'm off tomorrow, so I can finish this today, hopefully. I'm going to put my headphones on and I'm going to do my nails because they need doing, and I'm going to finish this book today. And this, okay, so I really don't want to I really didn't want to like this book. There's certain things that I like, but there was this quote and like, oh, it's so cute. Okay, I need to read this to you. He's fire and brimstone. I'm shattered ice. Our collision is steam and distraction, destined to dissipate, but I'll gladly burn beneath him until the world comes crumbling down. Oh my god. See, shit like this makes me want to love books or like books that I didn't want to like. I have been making notes. I don't want to say a lot about this book because I feel if you start talking about the synopsis of this book too much, it takes away from the book. You know, when I first started, I was like, doesn't matter how you shape a turd, it's still a turd. I'm kind of changing my mind a little bit because there was things that happened in this book. I freaking loved it. I was on the edge of my seat listening to this, and then it kind of went back to being a little bit boring. So this book kind of goes like from low to high to low for me, and then you have a quote like this, the one that I've read, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to like this book. And I don't know, I feel like my rating is gonna change. In the beginning of this book, I thought, you know, it's going to be a 2-star book, and we'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna, yeah, like I said, sit down, do my nails, and finish this book. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my nails actually. Let me see. Oh, shall I do this? It's like a dark glittery blue. That could be quite nice. I can just do like a navy and then a couple of fingers like this. One dark blue and one just kind of like a sparkly blue. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out. First I need to remove this stuff. Okay. And I need to get my headphones. Hello. I have done my nails. I've got this blue with a little bit of a glitter going on. There you go. I have also finished listening to When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. And I actually can't believe I'm saying this. I actually liked it. What? Me being so against this book and me calling it a turd. I actually liked it. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Let's start from the beginning. This is a romantasy that came out last year. Very hyped, very popular, read by a lot of people. I would say adult romantasy as well, not a children's one, young adult, whatever. Adults, 18 plus, because of some sexual content and some other content that's quite sensitive. So 18 plus romantasy. And even though I have read some before, like A Court of Thorns and Roses, for example, and Fourth Wing, etc., I am not really a biggest fan of the genre. I feel like all these books are very samey, and this is what I was kind of expecting going into this book. I was expecting a very similar kind of characters, like, you know, men are always tall, dark, handsome, big boy parts big boy parts, and and the girls, women, females, they're always, you know, these tiny little things, but they're so feisty and they can fight and do this and do that. So it's always a very stereotypical characters, in my opinion. This is all my opinion, okay? In my opinion. Also, those that male, female. I know obviously that, you know, Faye is not a man, is not a human, so you can't call him a man, but, you know, they kind of always been called males, and the female version was always called a female. But then, like in this book, for example, there's a scene when so Khan is being called a male, he's a male, but when she wants to get it on with him, she gets on top of him and she grinds on him, right? She calls his boy parts a manhood. So that would imply that you're a man. Why not call it a malehood? Or whatever, something else. I don't know. So it's kind of little discrepancies like that kind of rub me the wrong way a little bit. No pun intended. So going into this book, I maybe because I already had that negative attitude towards the book, and this is what I was expecting. It was kind of like, you know, I called it a turd. I take it back. It's not a turd. It's okay. It's okay. But I still have certain opinions of this book that I will not change. And I feel like this is in regards to this book, and I think romantasy in general. And they are. Oh, like I said, the overuse of the male, female, when describing genders, I think authors need to come up with something new, because this is a little bit, it's getting a little bit old, at least to me. Swearing, for example, there was a lot of swearing in this and cussing, and I don't think it was always necessary. Like in certain parts, yes, this is an adult book, so I don't mind that, but in certain bits, in certain sentences, I think it could have been avoided, and I think it would be like, I don't know, it's just a little bit nicer, I think. The other beef that I have with this book is the fact that I felt like when I was reading this, certain parts were added as fillers. Like, if they weren't added, this book would probably have like 300 or 300 and something pages. And in general, the opinion in like Booktube or Booktalk community is like, you know, a good fantasy, if it's got about 300 pages, is like, what can happen in 300 pages? So they kind of like, in general, I have to say I'm generalizing, in general they like bigger books because you can put more story to it, etc, etc. But I think in this example of the when the moon hatched, certain parts were added as fillers, and I think I personally could do without those fillers, because it was taking me away from the story and from the main plot. Like, we started kind of low, for me at least, we started low, and then there was a part that I really liked when, if you've read this book, you will know it's to do with those tribe people the people that lived in that volcanic kind of part of the kingdom. And this part, when she was there, it was really interesting to me, and I kind of hope that it's going to stay this way. But then after this, it kind of flopped for me again, and it becomes slow because there was a lot of stuff in this that I took as fillers, and they were kind of taking me away from the story and from the plot of the book. The other thing, some of this writing was very in my opinion, again, over descriptive. Like, I understand that, you know, authors want to provide and show us a nice writing and whatnot, but certain things I felt like those extra flourishes were overused, and especially just this one thing that was used a lot of the time, and the internal lake, when I think she was talking about the emotions that Rave was feeling inside, and all this, every single time it was described as internal lake. I don't mind, like, when you say it to me once, I will remember this is what she means by this. But it like, I heard it so many times in this book. It was kind of like, after a while, I was kind of like rolling my eyes every single time I heard that sentence, that phrase, internal lake. Yeah, so in general, like I said, to me this book started quite slow, and because I had those negative feelings, I, you know, maybe not the best attitude to go into. I loved the part with the tribal people, and also there's a twist at the end of the book which I actually really liked as well, and I might be interested in reading book 2 when it comes out. I think it's coming out towards the end of this year, October, November time, something like that, and I think I will be interested to read book 2. Probably listen because this is a big book, and, you know, because of my job and what I, you know, all the hobbies that I do and everything, I have this much time to read. So I will probably listen to book 2 when it comes out as an audiobook and my library has it, because I don't think I would use a credit on this book, even though I enjoyed this one. I rated this book 3 stars. I didn't hate it. It kind of started like 2 stars because I had that negative attitude towards it, but then, you know, when we had that part with those tribes people, it was like, for me it was like a 4-star book. But then generally, after I wrote my review and everything, reviews on Goodreads if you want to read it, basically it's the same what I'm saying here, but after I wrote my review, I kind of looked at everything that I wrote down, and I was like, okay, it is a 3-star book. I enjoyed it. I'm not fussed about it. I don't hate it, but yeah, 3 stars. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was like, whatever, 20 hours of audio. It killed some time. So yeah, that's it. That's When the Moon Hatched. It will probably be unhauled when I do an unhaul next time. It's a beautiful copy, so someone hopefully will want this for their shelves. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it if you did, and let me know in the comments if you have read this book and what were your thoughts about it. And in the meantime, if you want to have a look at some of my other reading vlogs, here's the recent one when I read Warm. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.